unprompted. Oh, that didn't feel forced at all. God, were we so artsy back there? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so vain. Guys, it's good to be here. Thank you so much for coming. My goodness, I've always just wanted to be on the north side of Chicago. Just the north specifically. I always lay over in Milwaukee just to make sure that I come from the north. Bullets make it windy. I grew up in the Midwest, and so it has a special place in my congestive heart. Oh, people from the Midwest, we know how to eat. We don't know what, but man, do we know how. That's how we go through life, processing food, not feelings. We eat. And yeah, our bodies reflect that. But you know what? People from the Midwest, we got great calves. I don't care how big you are. I look at the muscle group that supports that weight. And that's the calves. These are not runners, okay? But man, do we know how to pivot fast to a fugga de chow. That's all we have. I don't even need to look up past the knee. I got all the information I need from the calves. Oh, they're right in my eye line. That's what we have in the Midwest. Beautiful, bold, defined calves. No feet because of diabetes, but man, do we have calves though. My goodness. Don't look down and don't look up either. My goodness. I'm very accepting of people who are different body typed. My wife and I, we got different body types. She's tall. She's a tall lady. She's a lady. I just decided just now. That's how tall she is. All right, she could help you in a store. My wife and I, we don't look like we go together. Like, if you saw us out, you'd put an end to it right away. You'd be like, hey, I don't know what this is, but you need to knock it off right now. You cannot traffic this young man. My wife, we don't look like we go to, like, I lost respect for her when she married me. I did. I was like, you don't need to do this, you know? Think about your future. Yeah, man. Here's how much taller my wife is than I am, just so you get an idea, okay? Every morning we get ready in the bathroom mirror together. That's our routine. And she stands behind me. There's room on either side, and she is directly behind me. I'm like, do you need me to move? She's like, you're okay. And then she unhooks me from her little backpack, and I friggin' run out of there, you know what I mean? She's like, go play, and then I go play. Oh, I'm so fast when she tells me to go play. I'm running around in the morning. I get the zoomies, you know? I'm all under the furniture. You can't catch me, you know? I had my juice, you know? I'm so fast. Yeah, man, she's tall. She's got big hands. Big hands. Like, she's got those blue-collar associate's degree hands, you know? Like, pop the hood type hands, you know? Like, when my wife met my dad for the first time and they shook hands, it was firm. My dad was like, take care of my daughter. And it felt like an exchange. I was like, but Pa. He was like, no. You're not my property anymore. This fellow will take care of you now. You're in big hands. That's what he said. She got big hands, dude. It cannot be overstated. Big. She got those trans hands. Like, my wife's not trans. But those hands, they've got other plans. She got those plans hands. Like, I'm very proud of my wife, okay? And so I'll post a photo of us on my Instagram, right? And then people will comment in the comments that they think my wife is trans. And I'm okay if somebody's trans. I'd be okay if my wife was trans. I'm not okay with somebody weaponizing the idea of someone being trans in order to hurt them. That's where I draw the line. Yeah. But those hands, I mean, if they're in the photo, I'm like, I get it. You know, I get why they said that. And so now she takes the pictures. She's got big hands, dude. I'm thinking about them right now. I can't, like, sometimes we're in the bedroom and we're just getting right to it. We're going right for the thing, going at it. We're doing the happy naps. We're doing the slappy daddies. I've had sex. I don't know why I can't say. I've been in the act, all right? I know what it is. Just trust, but don't imagine, okay? But I've done it. But sometimes, like, you know, like, she's just down there with her hands, and I'm like, please don't hold it, you know? It doesn't even look like mine when she holds it. I'm like, that's not mine. There's no way that that's the same one that I had when I got here. It's not even mine. If you could return mine, that would be helpful. Then she lets go, and I'm like, there he is. Nothing in the background for scale. My goodness. He's magnificent. He's got a shadow, almost. Big hands, dude. Big. One time she tried to two-hand. I don't have a two-hander. I'll tell you that right now. No chance. Not with those hands. I don't know what that second hand was for. She was just reaching out for hope, I guess. Second-hand embarrassment. That's what it was. She tried to make room. So what she did was she took her first hand and pushed further into my pelvis like she was choking up on a bat I don't have. But she already committed to the second hand, so it's just hanging out here rodeo style, and she settled on putting that hand over the first hand like she trapped a mouse in the field. And it was like, no, I swear to God, he's in here. I got him. Get a shoebox, quick. It just looks so small when she holds mine. Then she grabs hers and it looks totally normal, you know? I'm like, God dang! Look at the hog on this chick, my God! That explains the hands. Thanks. One guy gets me, all right? That guy's girl has got big hands. They high five and a tectonic movement happens. It's good to be here. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. My name's Drew. For a long time, a lot of people, they called me the stuttering comedian. And that's because for over 10 years, I had a really bad publicist. but I also had a really bad stutter. Good stutter, bad stutter. I don't know, because one time I stuttered for so long, this guy was like, that was a good one. And I was like, stop molesting me. And guys, I'm joking. I couldn't say stop because of the stutter. You're okay, come on. We'll get through this. Just to quote my uncle, but And so, the stuttering comedian is how I am affectionately referred to by some. And by the way, if you ever stop me to ask if I am the stuttering comedian, I will probably be very polite. But also, I might be a bit apprehensive. Because I don't think calling someone the stuttering comedian is a hate crime, but I definitely know that's how they all start. Is that stuttering comedian? Get him, right? People wonder why we haven't found Bigfoot. Maybe it's because you keep calling him Bigfoot. His name's probably Dan. He's just outdoors, eh? I think it's just hard to feel like a person when people give you a name that isn't one. Like Drew sounds like the name of a human man who could perform some jokes in a venue just like this one. The stuttering comedian sounds like a carny in a circus tent. Like I'm in New Mexico on the side of a freeway somewhere, and a guy with a top hat and a pervy mustache keeps whipping my cage like, ah! Feast your eyes on the bumbling boy! For just a nickel, he'll perform 2 minutes of material for 20 minutes! The stuttering comedian! Nah, whatever. Who cares? What, do you think I wasn't gonna use it? That would be nuts. That would be nuts. I bought it. I have to use it. It helps. I'm gonna start standing next to my wife on that thing, you know what I mean? And people come up with all types of descriptions for comedians because they're too lazy to learn our names. You hear it all the time. Oh, that's that stuttering comedian. Oh, that's that midget comedian. Oh, that's that gay homo comedian. And I have to respond to all those. You know, Thanksgiving's tough. And stuttering might be the only thing that I'm ever known for. But honestly, I blame myself. I've openly made so many jokes on stage about my struggles with stuttering that now, if I meet someone in person and I'm not, it bums people out. They react like they caught Mickey vaping at Epcot. They're like, are you that stuttering comedian? I'm like, I guess. They're like, well, you're not stuttering now. Is it an act? I'm like, actually, no, it's a condition predicated on the level of my anxiety, and I guess from over there, before I met you, I couldn't tell you were a total ass hatchet. But don't worry, I feel unsafe now, so my stutter's on his way, you'll see. Like, I would never put an adjective in front of what you do for a living to describe you. To you. Can you imagine if you were like, are you that stuttering comedian? And I was like, I don't know. Are you that flaccid accountant? Is that you? And you'd be like, no. And I'm like, well, you're not hard right now. Let's see it. If it's not erect, do you even have one? I think it's just that some things sound more prejudiced than descriptive. Like, let's say I was leaving the house for a flight and I called to my wife in the next room, "Hey, babe, my Uber driver's here." She'd be like, "Okay, bye, have a nice day." I don't listen to whatever she says, but... But if I was like, "Hey, babe, my Indian Uber driver's here," she'd be like, "Oh, you don't need to say that detail." And that's my point. I would never say something like that because all Uber drivers. So I can't. Hey! I'm fed up. That's my point. For too long and for too many years, I've tried to exploit the double standard and what it is that you can call me versus what I can call you. And every time I try, it does not go great. Like, I was at my apartment complex the other day, and this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, hey, it's the stuttering comedian." And I was like, "Oh, it's my Korean landlord." He was like, "What?" "Bro, you sound so racist." And I was like, okay. So you can call me the stuttering comedian, but I can't call you an Asian innkeeper? He was like, "No. I'm Mexican." Tomato potatoes. I mean, what are we talking about? 1A, 1B. But he doesn't call me the stuttering comedian anymore, so he calls me the stuttering racist, and that's progress, I think. I decided a long time ago that I was gonna try to improve my speech so I could try to improve my quality of life. But I gotta tell you, you guys have not made that shit easy. I don't like stuttering because it makes me sad, but I don't like not stuttering because it makes you sad. My good day can really fuck up your good day. I'll get interrupted sometimes in the middle of conversations for people to demand to know where the stutter is. You know how many times I've been accosted by the phrase, "Where's the stutter?" "Where's the stutter?" is a fucking crazy thing to say to somebody. Like I'm a hooker who doesn't match my ad. They're like, "Hey, where's the pigtails, Toots? We wanted the pigtails." In your brochure, you had bush. I get that to my face. But I prefer to get that comment online because there you can see the dump. "Where's the stutter?" All caps. There's typos, grammar issues. It looks like somebody was typing it using one hand. What do you think they're doing with the other one? Why else be so aggressive unless you found a video of me not stuttering and you're just, "No! I can't bust on some able-bodied fuck!" I'd like to see if I can finish before he does. They'll be so upset. And that's when I realized I think stuttering is a lot like unplanned pregnancy. Because nobody cares that you have this problem until you get rid of it, then they're fucking mad at you. In Chicago, I thought you were about to be super Illinois for a second. I was like, whoa. My body, your choice. I stutter because when I was 20 years old, I was playing shortstop on a softball team, and a grounder took a hop, hit me in my throat, and I had fallen and hit my head on the ground, from which I had a minor vocal contusion and a major concussion that was later diagnosed as a traumatic brain injury. TBI for me, RBI for them. Everybody wins. But make no mistake, I love the fact that I had a traumatic brain injury because it's so cool to have trauma these days. Oh, trauma, you gotta talk about it. I mean, if you don't have trauma, why even go to brunch? We have nothing to discuss. I consider myself lucky that I had a traumatic brain injury. It could have just been a brain injury. But it was traumatic. I got my trauma notarized. I got it in writing. Your trauma's in your head. Mine is my head. Apparently, the severity of my injury made such an impact because when I got hit, my head snapped all the way back. I had nothing to stop the momentum from my head snapping all the way back. And when it happened that day, in that moment, I knew that the earth is flat. And now I don't believe in space. We throw that word around trauma so casually because I believe we've gotten soft as a species. It's a miracle we're still at the top of the food chain. Animals, they know how to react to something that's truly traumatic. In the animal kingdom, this is how it happens. An animal wakes up and goes, "I'm hungry," and then that animal gets eaten. And that's traumatic. But it's also traumatic at the times they are almost eaten. And I would encourage you one of these days to see how they react. Turn on Animal Planet, watch a gazelle, see what it does as it escapes the jowls of a lion. You know what it does? It shakes off, moves 20 yards to the left, and continues grazing. Meanwhile, someone calls us the wrong name, we shave our head and go live. It's insane. Yes, it was a softball injury. That's what happened to me. I'm telling you that that's what happened to me. In the event that I see you after the show and you're like, "Hey, that thing that you said what happened, is that really what happened?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you mean when I told you what happened?" Yeah, that's what happened. What do you think, if I was gonna make up a story, I'd go with that one? I don't even look good in that story. That story sounds like the version the softball tells. Like he's at a bar with his buddies and he's like, "All right, so I see this little tinksy twink over on shortstop, yeah? And I start fucking flying at him. I'm dodging, I'm weaving, oh, he's not looking, so I fucking popped up and uppercut him in his fucking word girdle, and... and now he's all retarded, yeah. I did that. Me, Mr. Softball. And I know you can't say the word retarded, but for a while, I actually couldn't. So it's a different victory for me, you know? I have to say it, or else the softball wins. So a ball to the throat, stutter. Pretty traumatic. Pretty embarrassing. But I later found out that could have been much worse. Because there was another guy on our team, he told me at one point he got hit in the throat with 2 balls at the exact same time. And he ended up with a lisp, so, you know, really dodged a ball there, you know. I don't know why grown men play softball. Recreationally, I'd rather do the drugs than the sports. I have no idea what it is about grown men who are like, yeah, I haven't been on a treadmill in 8 years, but I'll see you Saturday. Are you sure, Charlie? You look out of shape. No, I'll hit him with one of these. Why does every dude over 40 think this is effective? Just this stretch, and he just does the one arm. No, I don't want to hyperextend my gelatin, you know, when I'm picking up my glove. Softball, what a silly game. We're so out of shape for the easiest game. Softball is like if people who watched baseball played baseball. In rec softball, we don't have any innings. We don't have a time limit. We play until everyone's injured. That's when we're done. When we're all on the bench and we're like, all right, we made it 40 minutes this year. That was pretty good. Let's all go for MRIs. The game of softball is designed for violence. I know this because the ball is fatter, so you can't miss. The bat is fatter, so you can't miss. We are fat, so you can't miss. Do you understand? Everything is fatter and slower and sadder. That's what softball is. And we underhand pitch it. At point blank range, we underhand pitch it in front of our bodies. We don't even wind it up like the lesbians. We're literally like, here you go, Greg. Here it's coming, Greg. Are you ready, Greg? And Greg's going through a divorce. We don't think he's gonna take it out on someone. I look exactly like his wife. So I went down with a concussion, and they don't have a protocol for concussion in rec softball. We don't have the budget. Might come as a surprise. When I got injured, they just told me, yeah, just keep an eye on it. I was like, you want me to keep an eye on it? I don't know who I am. But as soon as I find him, I'll keep an eye on it. You have my word. Just keep an eye on it. It's just the brain, no problem. Just check in every now and then. It's just the system that's the most important, in charge of all other systems. Just keep an eye on it. I have a suggestion, softball, and maybe it's that your protocol for a concussion shouldn't be the same as it is for a fucking casserole. Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Let it cool down. I think what's embarrassing about my story is that I don't even remember it. I'm telling you a story that someone else told me. They probably left out details for my sake. They're like, yeah, we didn't mention when you sobbed and shit yourself. And that was before the game even started, you know? So, I don't remember my injury. And I know, you're like, Drew, how could you not remember your injury? Well, that's the thing about brain injuries, is they are in your brain. So it's like if your laptop crashes, you can't use it to look up what happened. So I don't remember my injury. I do remember being in the hospital the next day. That was like my first memory back. I remember the doctor who diagnosed me. It was such a somber scene. I remember he walked in and he was very stoic. He looked at me and he was like, well, son, there's no easy way to say this, but you stutter. And I was like, yeah, I was just trying to tell you that. There's just no easy way to say it. And he was like, well, things are gonna be different for you, and probably for the rest of your life. For example, if you ever want to have kids and you are someone who stutters, or your partner stutters, there is a 50% chance that that kid will end up trans. And I might be misremembering that. I had a brain injury, and it was very traumatic for me, and I didn't keep an eye on it. And I support trans rights. Yeah, I do. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's especially beautiful for men, because, you know, you can't hit a woman. But you can identify as one, which is the ultimate, if you can't beat them, join them. Don't you tense on me now. We've gotten too far together. We've gone, I paid for an elephant stand! It's very difficult being a comedian in today's climate. You can't tell a joke like the one I just made. You'd say a joke like that, people would be like, don't say that. That's hate speech. Drew, I wish you wouldn't say that. It's hate speech. It's like, it's not hate speech. I just told a joke, and you just hated it. You don't speak for all of us, all right? That's like when you go to a restaurant and the waiter's like, hey, we need any more bread for the table? And one person's like, we're okay. It's like, that's not your fucking call. Don't make jokes about bread. I have a son with gluten sensitivity. I'm sensitive to my son's gluten sensitivity. Hate speech. I have a pistachio-sized rectum and a nut allergy. Hate speech. There are some studies out there, some theories that support the idea of people who have experienced traumatic brain injuries later in life develop symptoms of depression, and I think that's bullshit. I didn't just get the symptoms, I got it. I just went right for it, you know, I skipped all the other nonsense. I was like, no, I'll just take it. But I don't like to tell people that I have depression, it's too depressing. Instead, I like to say that I'm a sad motherfucker. Right? Feels a little more active, you know? Like I'm winning versus my depression. Depressed people, they like to brush their teeth in the dark. Sad motherfuckers, we turn that toothbrush into a shiv, you know? It's active. And depression's the only illness where you can tell your friends you get better, and they're like, I think you should get a second opinion. And you're like, I'll stab you with Colgate. You don't know me. And so, yeah, I'm somebody who has it, but I gotta tell you about it in case you have it. I want you to know it's okay to have it. and I'm having a great week. I'm on day 7 right now of antidepressants. So, if you don't laugh, we'll see. I wouldn't do it here. But I don't. It's too tough to get a hearse through the city. Come on. That lady back there, that's a sad motherfucker right there. She's like, yeah! Antidepressants are fickle because everybody says you're supposed to give them about 4 weeks before you feel anything, which is strange. Feels like if you're depressed, the last thing you have is time. That's why it's a hotline, not a P.O. box. I got hooked up with this drug dealer over at the pharmacy, and she was the one who told me. She was like, just so you know, when you're on antidepressants, it takes about 4 weeks for you to feel anything. I was like, well, do you have a same-day option? Because I am depressed right now. Actually, I'm more depressed since you told me this. We are headed in the wrong direction right now. She was like, unfortunately, that's not how it works. Your brain needs time to become desensitized to the drug, about 4 weeks. That way, it won't notice the change. And I was like, so to be clear, I am to wait a month before I feel anything, at which point I will be so used to the drug that I will not feel anything? She's like, I think so, yeah. I was like, all right. Well, I'll put in these 4 weeks, but you should put in your 2. Let's be different people at the end of this. Everything she was telling me was bumming me out. She was like, just so you know, when you're on antidepressants, you can't drink. I was like, you can't drink? You don't know shit about me. I have unlimited potential. You have no idea what I could do on antidepressants. She's like, I mean it. If you drink on this medication, you will have internal bleeding. And I was like, well, if there's no mess... I'll keep it to myself. You know what I mean? I'll keep it in. She's like, I think keeping things in is what got you here in the first place. I was like, you're actually pretty good at this. I'm not gonna lie. Then I had her ring me up for a 6-pack. I got the fuck out of there, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you can check out from the pharmacy. Same sad motherfucker back there. There she is. Me and that lady were going on a rum run at the CVS. Glad that we're in a time where everybody is more accepting of mental health, but I will be honest, I'm not looking forward to the day Gen Z starts working the phones over at the Unalive hotline. They will pick us off one by one. You just call the number, some dude named Paprika answers. He's just like, you called. Just text. Text me the emoji you feel. I also think it's just a bit confusing, because sometimes the very reason you might be calling that number seems to be greenlit by a lot of the terms they use. You ever notice that? Let's say you call up Paprika. And you're like, hey man, I'm in a weird way, you know, I don't know, but I got a shotgun in the next room. And Paprika's like, I'm feeling triggered. And you're like, okay, I mean, I guess I'll just put my head in the oven. He's like, it's lit. And you're like, I'll just take a bottle of pills. He's like, no cap. And let's say you go through with it, and some Gen Z paramedic shows up, and he's like, damn, he slayed. No. You did good. It was natural. I liked it. Don't overdo it! Well, not that, sorry. Just... But it's not enough to take the pills. Everybody says you're supposed to get a therapist, and you're supposed to find a therapist that's the right fit. But they also want you to go through insurance, and those are different. Comedians, we don't have good insurance. Like, I have assurance. Like, when I get hurt, I go, I should be fine, and I assure myself, and that's my insurance. My insurance is not good. I'm with Blue Cross No Shield, and they don't... It's not really a plan, you know? It's more of an idea. Nothing's laminated. And the therapist they got... The therapist they sent me, he's not... Like, you know when you go to court and they say, if you do not have an attorney, one will be provided for you? That's my therapist. It would be better to self-represent at this time. I hate him. And I tell him that. And then he charges me. That's our relationship. He does he vapes. Can you do that? I don't think you can. You can't. He should be stripped of his degree. And if his office wasn't so smoky, I'd be able to find it. But he vapes. He's been divorced like 3. He's the problem, and I don't know how to tell him. You know, he's always like, "Oh, sorry, my ex-wife." I'm like, "No, let's talk about it. What's going on? Which one?" I hate therapy. I hate that it's 45 minutes. I hate that therapy's 45 minutes. It's like I pay the full rate. You should give me a full hour. You know? 45 minutes? What are we doing? 45 minutes is just enough time to have an emotional breakdown and then feel abandoned. At 44 minutes, he's like, that's our time. I'm like, no, Dad, please! How impersonal. That's our time. That's our time. Strippers and therapists. They're the only 2 people who say, that's our time. You don't think that's fucking weird? Did it matter to you, Richard? If that is your real name. I just think therapy should be longer than an episode of Squid Game. That's what I think. Or else I'm just gonna watch Squid Game. You're not better than Squid Game to me. My wife, she does her therapy over Zoom, so I don't count it. I'm sorry, if your problems are not big enough for you to drive to fix them, they're not real fucking problems to me, all right? Why don't you sit in traffic like the rest of us and cry on the way back? That's what it's for. That's therapy. My wife, she does her therapy over Zoom, and so we do this little dance where she says she has an appointment, and then I leave the house and pretend like she's not about to talk shit about me for the next hour. That's a fun dance to do. I know it's about me. She's a white lady with a house and no job. I'm her only problem, all right? I'm just kidding. She obviously has a job. She got those big hands, you know what I mean? Would be a shame to not put those puppies to work. It's insane how she starts her sessions. I don't know what is going on in women's therapy. They're getting all cutesy bootsy with each other. I hear the start of how my wife's sessions go. She starts hers and it goes giggling? What? She made sangria, they're clinking glasses and scrapbooking and sinking cycles. It's nuts over there. It's nuts what's happening in women's therapy. But I think I'm just jealous because women are better at therapy. They are. I think women are better at therapy because they're so collaborative. Women say the type of things in therapy that you'd hear someone say at a museum. She was saying things like, hey, can we go back to that first thing? Oh, I totally forgot about that. I'm learning so much. Therapy for dudes is like a bathroom at a truck stop. We go in and we're like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna hold it. Nothing about this seems safe, not one bit. Can't get rid of shit with some dude just staring at me. But for all the things that therapy is, it is not nearly as bad as speech therapy. Yeah, I do both. I'm twice as fucked up. Speech therapy is nuts. Most people who are in speech are kids. And so, I'm the oldest client. And the waiting room is decorated for not me. Not at all. It is a humiliating place to wait as an adult man. It's all for the kids. They got a friggin' coloring books, and there's puzzles, and a slide, and a ball pit. I've done it all. And I go to speech therapy still because I sometimes have difficulties saying words that start with the same letter right after each other. That's my current struggle, okay? The last time I was there, I'm sitting in the lobby, and I'm just across from this 6-year-old who's just staring at me. So I was like, what are you in for? And he had a difficult time saying his R's. So he was like, Oz. And I'm a dick, so I was like, oh, like the wonderful, wonderful Wizard of? And he was quick, too. He was like, you here for W's? I was like, how about fuck you, Tommy? Have you heard that? Have you heard fuck you right to your little ears before? How about that? Yeah. If you weren't bigger than me, I'd beat your little ass. You understand that? You ever been stabbed by a toothbrush? You understand, young man? I'm a sad motherfucker. And his name was Wyatt, but I didn't want to take that risk, you know what I mean? So he's Tommy now to me. I changed it. Speech therapy is a little wild, man, because what they're trying to do is acclimate us socially to things that you guys can already do pretty naturally. Like when you talk to somebody, you look them in the eyes. That's something that you do. They want us to maintain eye contact through a stutter. Do you know how fucking weird that is? To just be looking at someone in the eyes, like, you didn't consent to that. Okay. Besides penetration, that is having sex. I don't care what you think that is. That is assault from a distance. And if I stop, I can't stop, because if I stop, if I go, you will think I finished in my pants. So You're like, oh, okay, it was a non-melee violation. That was good. Clothes on and everything. I need to shower. There's all types of crazy things that they're trying to teach us in speech therapy. You know, you've heard about people who stutter when they sing, they don't. You've heard about this. Yeah, my speech therapist was like, yeah, if you ever find yourself in a bind, was trying to say something, oh, you could just try singing it. I was like, I'd rather stutter. Thank you. Thank you, though. I'm not gonna serenade my Postmates guy, sorry. Hey, come on over, ooh. No, that's called luring, all right? And that's a felony. Like, come on in, ooh, daddy, ooh, look me in my, there it is. I'll tip you, not on the app. I don't like singing because I get acne. You make sense of it. I don't like to do that. Well, I guess there is one song that I sometimes like to sing. I'll sometimes sing it, but all right, I'll sing it. All right, it goes like this. It goes. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. And then my wife gets my face all wet, and you guys really took your time with that one, but I'm glad that it got there. I'm very happy for all of you and for my wife. Last time I was in speech, my speech therapist told me if I ever wind up getting stuck on something, I can just try saying that same thing in an accent. I was like, I don't think you know the climate. It's 2025. White dudes aren't just walking around trying accents. But I appreciate the invitation to my own cancellation. That's super nice of you. It's terrible advice. Then a few days after she said that, I wound up at the McDonald's drive-thru. I don't know how I got there. Probably some internal bleeding involved. And honestly, here's what I hate about McDonald's, is that they have branded themselves by putting MC in front of every single item on the menu. It's not even called a menu, by the way. It's called a menu. You could see how that could be a challenge for somebody with a history of stuttering. Like if you want a chicken sandwich, they call it a McChicken. A coffee is called a McCafe. And don't worry, they have dessert as well. It's called a M&M. No thanks. Even if you want the breakfast sandwich, they make you say McMuffin. Because if you just say muffin, they give you a fucking muffin. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm having cake for breakfast now. Oh, protein. You can't tell me that place does not discriminate against people who stutter. Even the dude who does the slogan is like, but. So I see that menu, and it doesn't matter how much progress someone has made over the years. As soon as you see a sign with all of those blocks like that, all of the feelings, they come rushing back. I feel the walls closing in. I feel nauseous. I'm sweaty. I haven't even had the food yet. I look in the rearview mirror. There's now a line of cars, people backing up, right? People are honking. They're getting impatient. The dude through the intercom is rushing me. I'm stuttering. All this is happening, okay? But before I could overreact, I remembered what my speech therapist gave me permission to do. And I tried to be as diplomatic about it as I possibly could. I thought, I'm Irish. It makes sense to do an Irish accent right now. But I don't know how to do an Irish accent. And so when the dude asked me what I wanted, I panicked, and what came out was, "What do you have on the dollar menu?" I am a baller on a budget. He was like, "What?" I was like, "This call is being recorded for quality." I did the whole order like that, which I thought was a great idea, till I realized I was going to have to pull this car forward. And they're probably expecting not me. So what I did was I waited for the employee to have his back turned so I could pull the front of the car past the window, and then I just got in the back seat. It's been a really, really fun show. Thank you very much. I will tell you how much I appreciate you from the stage, because I don't wait after shows anymore, because I realized recently that I'm an introvert. And what happens is that people come up and they say really nice things, and then they keep talking. And it's liable to go south very fast when they do that. Like the last time I did a meet and greet, there was a guy who came up to me, started really nice, then it went south. He came up and he was like, "Hey man, congratulations on the progress of your stutter." And I was like, "Thank you." And he was like, "Do you fake it sometimes?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "Well, there was just times during the show where I noticed you stuttered. I was just curious if you were timing the stutter for the purposes of the joke." And I was like, "Yeah, man, you can't time a stutter. A stutter is the disruption of timing." And he was like, "Oh." "Well, this is my wife, Julie." I was like, "Hi, Julie. Do you fake it sometimes?"